St. Luke's School, live from the upper field on 91.9 WSLX and broadcasting live on the internet on the Storm Zone. You join us for a special presentation of the FAA title game where St. Luke's hosts Holy Child. The winner walks home with an FAA title today. Both teams were in action on Monday. St. Luke's right here at home. They beat rival King 13-0 in 5 innings. That game was called on account of the mercy rule in the 5th. On the other hand, Rye Country Day played Holy Child, and the underdog Holy Child squeaked out a 5-1 win to set up today's match. And captains shaking hands behind home plate right now. We're almost ready to go. The head coaches exchanging pleasantries with the umpires. On a overcast day, it's cloudy and cool and not nearly as warm out as it was on Monday here when St. Luke's went home with a 13-0 win. The starting pitcher that day for the Storm was Marissa Russell, as it has been all year. And just like clockwork, she'll be on the mound again today, looking to stymie the bats of a potent Holy Child team. Holy Child wound up finishing 4th overall in the FAA. St. Luke's tied for 1st. But that means very little right now in this one-game playoff. St. Luke's had only one meeting with Holy Child prior to this, and that was earlier this month, and it was a big win for the Storm to solidify a place atop the FAA. But that was a 6-5 win in that game, and there were 5 lead changes in that one. St. Luke's finally taking the lead for good in the 7th inning on an RBI double by Noelle Russell off of today's starting pitcher for the visiting Holy Child Griffins, and that it would be Molly Leitner. Umpires, coaches, and captains still congregated behind home plate. We thank you for joining us here on 91.9 WSLX and online, a live stream. We're truly doing the simulcasting today. So join us online on the radio, or if you're in the vicinity, come by and take a look at what promises to be an exciting game. And I think teams are headed back to their respective dugouts, and we are just minutes away from the first pitch here. So we'll take some time to run through the starting lineups for both teams. For the Holy Child Griffins, leading off and playing third is number 3, Juliana Capasso. Batting second and catching is number 8, Millie Caviccio. Batting third and pitching is the aforementioned Molly Leitner. She's a power threat in this lineup on the mound as well. Hitting cleanup behind her is number 12, Elizabeth Curcio, and she is a dynamic fielder at shortstop. Batting fifth is number 17, Stephanie Kuropoulos, and she's in center. Hitting behind her is number 14, Caroline Bryceland, and she's at first. Batting seventh is number 18, Maggie Ahern, and she is the designated player for today's game. Batting eighth is number 6, Lily Hurley, and she's in left. And around in right, batting ninth is Celeste Hilton. Ashley Martinez is playing at second base today, but she will not bat with the designated hitter, Maggie Ahern, in there in the 7th spot. As the Storm takes the field, and we're about ready to get underway here from the upper field. We thank you for joining us, and we'll run the Storm defense. They run out the same squad as they did there Monday. On Monday, a injury in the pregame warmups took Emma Castiglione out of the lineup, a powerful bat out of the lineup as well, but more importantly, we hope she is okay after sustaining that pregame injury. In her place, Monica Gabriel will get the start again in right field. She came in a pinch on Monday and performed well out there in right. As the Storm needed to take some warm-up throws on the infield, Marissa Russell warming that big right arm up and pitching to her sister, Noelle. Noelle is a freshman, Marissa a senior, and this battery makes up one of the most potent in the FAA, not only on the mound and behind the dish, but also on the lineup. We'll get to that shortly. So both Russells make up the battery today. Marissa, the senior, pitching to Noelle, the freshman, and she's catching. Maya Klein is at third. She's also a freshman. Allie Ferris makes up a tandem of Ferrises on the middle infield. That's Allie Ferris. That's a tandem of Allies, rather. That's Allie Ferris at short and Allie Traeger at second. Natalie Bachman's a senior, and she's at first base, rather. In left field is Courtney Newman getting her second straight start there. Liz Kremer, a senior, is in center, and around and right is Monica Gabriel, the fourth senior on this roster. The St. Luke's lineup is as follows, and is a carbon copy of that one on Monday. Well, it looks like we're almost underway, so we'll hold that thought until the bottom of the first inning, but we're about underway here, and we thank you for joining us on 91.9 WSLX and online streaming on the Storm Zone. The winner of this game takes home the FAA title, and the first pitch of this game is a called strike on the inside corner to Juliana Capasso, third baseman, leading off for the Holy Child Griffins. From Rye, New York, the Griffins, as Capasso takes the ball low there inside, that's ball 1-1. They travel high up on the hilltop today, and it's probably equally breezy as it was here on Monday, but as she swings over a fastball 1-2. Big difference is about a 20-degree difference in temperature. It was hot and sunny. It's a little chilly, and a lot of players wearing long sleeves today. The 1-2 on the outside corner, but a little outside. It's 2-2 to Capasso. She's followed in the lineup by the center fielder, by the catcher Millie Cavicchio. Marissa Russell staring into the signs for her sister. Here's the 2-2 swing and a tapper foul behind the home plate. St. Luke's wearing their traditional maroon and trimmed in white and black. Holy Child wearing white with two shades of blue, one sort of a powder blue and another navy. Here on this chilly, breezy Wednesday afternoon title bout. Now, St. Luke's has been in the title game for 4 consecutive years. They won in 2012 and 2013. Did not win last year, losing to Greenwich Academy. A little tapper out in front of the plate. Rushel up with it. That's Marissa. She fires the first, but not in time. And Capasso is on with an infield hit. Sort of a swinging bunt. You couldn't have placed that much better than she did. And just like that, the Holy Child Griffins have the first batter of the game on base, and that brings up Millie Cavicchio. She's the catcher, right-hand hitter, with Capasso leading from first. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball that ran in, and Marissa Rushel had that good fastball working last game. She struck out 11, didn't allow a hit in her 5 innings of work, so technically a no-hitter. St. Luke's won that game 13-0 in the semifinals, though 0-1 is taken low. 1-1. Noelle Rushel pops up, and she likes to throw behind the runners at first, so Avery Bachman over there at first has to stay alert, as does Juliana Capasso on first base. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a little fly ball, and out of play down the left field side. It's 1-2. Wind really whipping up now, and that can wreak havoc in this outfield here. Outfielders playing pretty much straight up and about medium depth against Cavicchio. Molly Leitner is on deck, and Elizabeth Curcio is in the hole. And those are the 3-4 batters due up after Cavicchio. The catcher was in a 2-2 situation here with 1 out. Rushel winds and delivers a little bit high. She's run the count full now to the number 2 hitter, Millie Cavicchio. You're listening to 91.9 WSLX and streaming live on the Storm Zone. We thank you for joining us. So it's 3-2, top of the first inning, none out. Runner leads from first. That's Juliana Capasso, the leadoff hitter for Holy Child. Cavicchio's ready. She steps in. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball hit deep to left field, but Courtney Newman is under it, and she squeezes it for the first out of the inning. The throw gets loose on the infield, but no harm, no foul there. So a hard struck first out of this game, but right at Courtney Newman in left. So that'll go down as an L7 or maybe an F7, depending on how you feel about it in your scorecard. And that brings up Molly Leitner, the pitcher. She's batting third, and she is an imposing right-handed hitter against a right-handed pitcher, Marissa Russell. Here's the first pitch and taken right down the middle of strike. Both Rushells are very active, heady softball players, excuse me. We were just doing a baseball game the other day, so maybe mixing up some things here and there. And the 0-1 is taken on the outside corner, strike 2. So quickly 0-2 to Molly Leitner. To finish that thought, Noelle Russell is very active behind the plate. Here's the 0-2 on the outside corner, strike 3 call, and Leitner takes a seat. That's Marissa Russell's first strikeout of the game and the second out of the inning. That brings up Elizabeth Curcio, the shortstop and cleanup hitter. So Molly Leitner takes a called third strike for the second out of this inning. That brings up Curcio with 2 out and 1 on. Juliana Capasso led off the inning with an infield hit right in front of the catcher, Noelle Russell. She reached, but after a fly ball and a strikeout, there are now 2 outs and an 0-1 count. Russell winds and fires, and a ground ball right back to her, skips over her glove, right to Traeger at second, and she completes the put out to first. So that may actually go down as a 1-4-3 put out, but what matters most to the Storm as they head back to their dugout is that it is the third out of this top of the first inning. So in the middle of the first, 1 hit, 1 left, and no runs as Curcio gets the 1-4-3 ground out, and we head to the bottom of the first inning. We thank you for joining us on 91.9 WSLX and streaming live on the internet at WSLX.org. Of course, for those of us watching with moving pictures on the Storm Zone blog, we appreciate you joining us today for this FAA final game. Holy Child taking their warm-up tosses now, and many wearing jackets just for the warm-up. It should tell you something about the weather here. It's kind of a misnomer to call it a warm-up. It's a chilly day after we've gotten so many nice days of felt like winter directly to summer. This is your first real spring afternoon of May, and well, it's going to be tough for those pitchers to grip that fastball grip, but it's also going to sting when you take one right off the hands. We'll go down the St. Luke's lineup in a minute, but first we'll run through the Holy Child defense. Leitner's on the mound, and she's delivering to Millie Caviccio. That's Molly Leitner. Caroline Bryceland is at first. Ashley Martinez does not bat today, but she's playing second base. At shortstop is Elizabeth Curcio. At third is Juliana Capasso. Left is Lily Hurley. In center, Stephanie Kuropoulos. And around in right is Celeste Hilton. St. Luke's now up to the plate, and the leadoff hitter is Maya Klein, the third baseman. She had 2 hits, scored 4 runs, and notched 2 RBIs in that last semifinal game. Here's the 0-1 pitch inside and taken from Leitner. So quickly 2-0 to the St. Luke's leadoff hitter. Following Klein in the lineup is the number 2 hitter, Allie Ferris, and she's at short. Noelle Russell flips with her sister actually today. She's batting third. Here's the 0-2, and it's the 2-0, excuse me, and it's sliced foul and out of play. 2-1. Noelle Russell bats third and catches. Her sister follows her. That's Marissa. She's on the mound, batting fourth. Avery Bachman's batting fifth and playing first base. Batting sixth is Monica Gabriel, the right fielder. Here's the 2-1 slashed foul right behind the plate, 2-2. Allie Traeger, the second baseman, follows Gabriel. She bats seventh. Batting eighth is the freshman Courtney Newman in left field. And hitting that double leadoff, the lone lefty in the St. Luke's lineup is Liz Kremer, batting ninth and playing center field. The 2-2 coming to Maya Klein, off-speed pitch, and she hangs with it and just gets a piece. So that's one of the first real off-speed pitches we've seen of the day. And, well, if Molly Leitner can throw that with efficiency, it will be a tough day for St. Luke's hitters. These teams had a history of playing some tight games. In their lone game last year, St. Luke's lost 2-1, and in their regular season game, as the 2-2 bounces low, 3-2. Their one game this season, St. Luke's took it 6-5, and it was a back and forth game. 5 lead changes in that one. And St. Luke's took the lead in the top of the 7th inning and did not look back, winning that one 6-5 on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. So after going up 2-0 in the count, Leitner battles back and strikes out Maya Klein, looking for the first out of the bottom of the 1st inning. That brings up Allie Ferris, the shortstop. All right-handed hitters in this St. Luke's lineup, except for the number 9 hitter, Liz Kremer, the center fielder. Here's the first pitch. Ferris shows bunt, but pulls it back as the first pitch bounces low. 1-0. Some of the outfielders still have some outerwear on here. It's a chilly day here. The 1-0 is bounced wide of third, and that's a foul ball. Ferris running it all the way out to first, though. And we've seen some plays already in this FAA playoffs where little squibbers up the line can make a big difference, especially at the beginning of the inning, especially against a tough pitcher in the form of Molly Leitner. St. Luke's jumped all over King the last game to get here. That was in the FAA semifinals. The top 4 teams in the league qualify. The number 4 team was actually Holy Child, and they faced off against Rye Country Day and beat them 5-1 to get here. Here's the pitch from Leitner. High. St. Luke's, on the other hand, played longtime rival King, and they'll invoke the mercy rule after 5 innings. 13-0. St. Luke's scoring in every single inning of the game. But that seems like a long time ago, and it was only 2 days ago. The pitch is high, taken. So Leitner has run a 3-ball count and has only pumped in 1 strike so far. So Allie Ferris, the number 2 hitter, in a hitter's count. Here's the pitch. Taken. No, it's on the outside corner. Ball 4. So Allie Ferris is on with a 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 1st inning, and that brings up Noelle Rushell, who hit cleanup in the last game, the freshman catcher and sister and battery mate, and we can say that ad nauseum, but it really is worth repeating, of Marissa Rushell. Here's the pitch, and she slugs one into left field, but it skips over the glove of the left fielder. Ferris around third. She's being waved around third. She will round third, and Rushell pulls in there at third. It's 1-0 St. Luke's on a well-struck line drive to left field. It certainly looked like it looked like Lily Hurley may get a glove on it. She went back on it, but it kind of sailed on her and just went over her glove, and that allowed Noelle Rushell to go to third, and she was digging right at the heels of Allie Ferris, who kind of had to hold up. She didn't know if that ball would be caught, didn't want to get doubled up, but it does not matter. That goes for an RBI triple for Noelle Rushell, and just like that, St. Luke's jumps out to an early 1-0 lead, and Allie Ferris, who walked, comes around to score, and this brings up Marissa Rushell, who takes the first pitch for ball 1. So St. Luke's has made a habit of scoring early and scoring often against many teams this season. Here's the 1-0 and way outside, 2-0. The 2-0 coming. Here's the pitch. A little bit low, but it's taken outside corner. So both hitters still feeling at the strike zone from today's home plate umpire. So it's 2-1 now to the cleanup hitter, Marissa Rushell, with her sister Noelle leading from third with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing a ground ball to third. Picked up there and fired to first for the put out, but Noelle Rushell scampers home after the throw. So it's 2-0 St. Luke's. Heads up base running there. And the third baseman, Capasso, never looked her back. She immediately came up with that ball, was right around the bag, and she fired on over to first to get Marissa, but that goes as an RBI ground out. 5-3 in your scorecard, and give an RBI to both Rushells in this inning. So here's the number 5 hitter, Avery Bachman, and she swings over the first pitch, 0-1. So a little bit of small ball after some more or less long ball from St. Luke's there, and they have a 2-0 lead with no one on and 2 out here now in the bottom of the 1st inning as Bachman takes the pitch on the outside corner, 0-2. Leitner ready and winds, and the pitch outside, ball 1. So St. Luke's scrapping across the run there on a heads-up play from Noelle Russell, taking off as soon as the ball left Capasso's hand. The throw came home, but she had no chance. The 0-2 was fouled off and behind home plate, brushing those trees behind the backstop there. And luckily, no cars are parked there. A little bit off to the left, wide of third base, there are some cars parked. We certainly saw that on Monday. Those cars were in danger. The 1-2 is bounced foul down the third base line. Kind of got that one off the end of the bat, the number 5 hitter. And fifth up in this inning in the form of Avery Bachman, the senior. So the 1-2 coming up as Leitner kind of pauses at the mound and collects herself, gets ready. She's ready, winds and delivers. It's high, 2-2. So after falling behind, 0-2, Avery Bachman has worked the count to 2-2. And their last outing, Leitner, as the 2-2's on its way, swinging its fisted foul behind home plate, remains 2-2. Last time these two teams met, Leitner went all 7 innings. She struck out 11, allowed 1 home run, 6 earned runs. Marissa Russell allowed 5 runs, 3 of them earned. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. She strikes Bachman out to end the inning, but not before. St. Luke's takes a 2-0 lead, courtesy of both Russell sisters. So after 1, it's St. Luke's 2 and Holy Child nothing here on 91.9 WSLX and streaming live on the Storm Zone. Plenty of games still here in this FAA final. We thank you for joining us. Let's finish that thought now while we have a little break in the action as St. Luke's takes the field and appears to be about, maybe a minute away, ready from starting this top of the second inning. In that last game in early May against Holy Child, at Holy Child in Rye, St. Luke's won 6-5, and Marissa Russell, as we were saying, wound up throwing 7 innings. She threw 108 pitches in that game, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, walked 1, struck out 8, allowed 1 homer. On the other side is Leitner in 7 innings pitched, 116 innings, 116 pitches thrown rather, 8 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks and 11 strikeouts. So much like Russell, she is a strikeout artist on the mound. Russell earned the win that day, Leitner the loss in that 6-5 game. Maya Klein had 2 hits and 2 RBIs in that game. Noelle Russell, Marissa Russell collected RBIs, as did Avery Bachman, and Emma Castiglione, who's unfortunately now out for this game and possibly the rest of the season, should the season continue in the Winnepsit tournament. Cavicchio for Holy Child had 2 hits, 2 RBIs in that game, as we're underway here in the second inning. And Marissa Russell starts things where she left them off, and firing a strike in there to Stephanie Karopoulos, the number 5 hitter and center fielder. She swings and grounds one to second base. Ferris up with it. She underhands to first, and there's quickly 1 away. So an easy first out as Karopoulos grounds out to second here in the top of the second inning. St. Luke's leading 2-0 here on 91.9 WSLX and live on the Storm Zone. Stepping to the plate now is Caroline Bryceland, the first baseman. And the first pitch is a little bit inside, looked like some kind of off-speed pitch from Marissa Russell, and she falls behind 1-0. Bryceland wielding a yellow and black bat, and she waggles it a little bit before taking the 1-0 for a strike down the outside corner. That's 1-1. So Marissa Russell, who struck out 11 last game, has already struck out 1 today, but we're only in the top of the second with 1 out. And that one's taken high and outside, 2-1. Holy Child finished 4th in the FAAs with a 6-2 record in the regular season. A 5-2 record, rather. St. Luke's finished with a 6-1 record in that. 2-1 pitch is taken low, so a 3-1 count now to Caroline Bryson, with Maggie Ahern on deck and Lily Hurley in the hole. The 3-1 on its way, taken down the middle for a strike, 3-2. That gets the cheers going from the St. Luke's crowd. Packed the bleachers here with the cowbells and cheering on their home Storm, who look to take home an FAA title here today. The 3-2, swinging a slashed foul, and she got a good piece of that down the right field side, and hopefully not headed towards someone's windshield, because we've, as we mentioned before, seen a little bit of that in the last few games. Russell takes the ball, rubs some dirt on it, trying to get a good feel on it. I always break out the new softballs right before the game, so pitchers kind of like to scuff them up and get them as dirty and grimy as they can, get a good feel for it, especially on kind of a chilly day. So don't be surprised to see both pitchers kind of going to that dirt beyond the mound and kind of trying to warm up their hands as well. The 3-2 again, swinging its tapped foul, and we'll do it all again. The new ball comes into play on that one, so Russell's going to have to rub that one up as well. It's kind of all part of the game as she takes a little bit of dirt, rubs it, smacks it against her glove, and she's ready to deliver that 3-2 pitch. Once again, winds and fires, swing and a pop-up into right field. Gabriel coming on. She tracks it, drops it, clanks off her glove, and rolls all the way to the fence. And pulling into second base with a two-base error is Caroline Bryceland. Gabriel camped under it, had time, but kind of just lost it at the last minute. And unfortunately for St. Luke's, went in the opposite direction of the field. So just like that, Holy Child threatens now with one out and a runner on second base. A two-base error there charged to the right fielder, Monica Gabriel. And that brings up Maggie Ahern, the designated hitter for today. And she takes a first pitch strike. Ahern is the designated hitter today, right-hand hitter. That means that Ashley Martinez, who's playing second base, will not hit. She's the second baseman and flex player for today. And it's quickly 0-2 to Ahern. Bryceland leads from second, one out here in the top of the second inning. Marissa Russell delivers, swinging. It's a line drive up the middle, fielded there by Ferris. She fires on over to first for the second out of the inning, and Bryceland advances to third. So somewhat of a productive out there for Ahern. She kind of thought she got more of that ball than she did. It looked ticketed for center field, but kind of got in on her hands, and Ferris was able to put her away easily. But it does move the runner Bryceland over to third, but for St. Luke's, they're now two out. That brings up Lily Hurley, a left-handed hitter, and she waves at the first pitch, strike one. Lily Hurley, the left fielder. So we can't confirm it yet, but it looks like there are two lefties in this game, and the outfield is adjusting accordingly, shifting a little bit. Liz Kremer directing traffic out there, and she swings and misses at strike two. And Noelle Russell, again, is up and faking that throw down the third base line, trying to pick off Bryceland, but probably not a great idea to try to pick her off and airmail it into left field, although she has an accurate arm, and running over there again is the shortstop Ferris to back her up. Back up Klein over there at third. So if nothing else, it keeps Bryceland glued to the bag at third. But attention should be paid now to Lily Hurley, who's down 0-2, swinging, fouls one straight back to the screen. Stays 0-2. Two outs here in the top of the second inning. St. Luke's leads 2-0 over Holy Child so far. Marissa Russell on the mound, trying to put away the Holy Child Griffins here. Here's the pitch on the outside corner, strike three call. So Marissa Russell escapes a semi-jam with a called third strike, her second strikeout of the day, and retires the side. So no hits, one left, reached on a two-base error, and in the middle of two, it's St. Luke's 2 and Holy Child nothing. St. Luke's will be up in the bottom of the second inning. And momentarily, you're listening to 91.9 WSLX, and we thank you for joining us here on the Storm Zone as well, streaming live on the internet. Around 5:20 now, and things are a little bit cool here at the upper field of St. Luke's School, and feels more like a spring day than we felt in recent days. We're going to try to multitask here and tweet and and do some play-by-play and camera work at the same time. Luckily, it's between innings, so it won't be too burdened here, but forgive me if I start speaking in hashtags. You know, we live in a digital age, and it should be easier to multitask, but when you have to talk and type at the same time, it's not always the easiest thing. St. Luke's leading 2-0 over Holy Child so far. Headed toward the bottom of the second inning. Reminder to all of us listening on the radio, when you're near a computer or a smartphone or some sort of connected device, you can watch live on the Storm Zone, and you can use this address. It's bit.ly, bit.ly is the address, bit.ly/ capital S, capital L, capital S, lowercase c, lowercase a, lowercase s, lowercase t, 513. So that's SLS Cast 513. And that'll take you right to our streaming link. First batter of the inning, bunts one down the line, but foul for St. Luke's. And it's quickly 0-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. And that is Allie Traeger after Avery Bachman made the last out of the first inning. St. Luke's up 2-0 here, and Allie Traeger, the second baseman, trying again to bunt, but she pulls it back, and it's 1-1. Excuse me, this is Monica Gabriel. I can't read my own scorecard. Monica Gabriel, in a 1-1 count, she swings and fouls one right off the umpire, 1-2. So Gabriel trying to reach on 2 consecutive bunt attempts. Bunted the first one foul. It was a good one up the first baseline, but nothing doing after that. And it's 1-2. You imagine the bunt comes off now. Molly Leitner, who allowed 2 runs in the first inning, trying to get her rhythm here, and she will strike out Gabriel swinging on the 1-2 count. So she's on her way to getting rhythm. That's 2 consecutive strikeouts, albeit over 2 innings. That brings up Allie Traeger, the second baseman. Wearing a cage on helmet purple bat. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Traeger, the second baseman. Batting 7th, Courtney Newman, 8th on deck, and in the hole is Liz Kremer. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Swing and a miss on a good pitch high in the zone, and it's quickly 0-2. And the cheers come up from the Holy Child side of the crowd. So we have a nice crowd here on with more filtering in for this FAA game. Here's the 0-2. It's taken outside. Ball 1. One ran away on Molly Leitner. As Allie Traeger digs in. Excuse me. No cough buttons out here in the field. Here's the 1-2. Taken outside, 2-2. So after going down 0-2, Allie Traeger works it to a 2-2 count. A pair of alleys on the middle infield with Traeger and Ferris. Ferris is at short. Traeger takes a 2-2 pitch high and over the catcher's mitt. That makes it a full count, 3-2. So with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning, St. Luke's looking to get a base runner any way they can right here, but they are leading 2-0. But no lead is safe in this league. Here's 3-2, taken low, ball 4. And Traeger hustles on down to first base with a 1-out walk. So, much like last inning for St. Luke's, when a 1-out walk came on the heels of a leadoff strikeout, St. Luke's also looks to duplicate some of the productivity of last inning when they scored 2 runs. Noelle Russell RBI triple to the first one, and Marissa Russell RBI ground out or in the second run of the inning and the game, and it stays that way here in the bottom of the second, 2-0 St. Luke's. Here's the pitch to Courtney Newman, and it's taken inside for a strike. Courtney Newman in left field today. Right-handed batter takes the pitch, swing and a miss, and she goes down on strikes on 3 pitches. So Molly Leitner recovers from that one-out walk, and she fans Courtney Newman for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout of the inning and third and fourth of the game. And the ball gets away from the catcher on the infield. Nope, they will look down just at my scorecard for a minute. It must have been a failed bunt attempt. Slapped foul by none other than Liz Kremer, who's at the bat. Number 9 hitter. She squares around again, but it's taken outside 1-1. And Kremer will do that. She's a left-handed hitter, speedster in center field for St. Luke's, and chokes up on the bat, kind of gets a running start at the ball, and looking to get on using her speed. She slaps another bunt, and that's right at the charging third baseman, right down her throat. And that will go in your scorecards as a line out directly to Capasso, but it must have been 5 feet away, and Capasso playing very aggressively. Kremer squared around early to bunt, tried to get it down that third base line, but Capasso was waiting to scoop it up for the third out of the inning. So at the end of 2, 1 left, no hits in the inning, and St. Luke's leads 2-0. We are headed to the top of the third here on 91.9 WSLX. Thanks for joining us. You're also watching, hopefully live on the Storm Zone. Feel free to drop us a comment on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, however you follow along. Let us know where you're watching, how you're watching, and hopefully who you're rooting for. St. Luke's taking some warm-up throws on the infield before the start of the third inning in today's game. We've got some interesting numbers here, actually, as we dig through some statistics. In 12 games, Courtney Newman, who actually struck out there in that bottom of the second inning, earned a .444 average. She was 16 for 36. Avery Bachman was 15 for 43. That was good for a .349 average. Emma Castiglione at .349. We'll get some more here as the first pitch of the top of the third inning can't be handled at first by Bachman. And a little squibber results in a leadoff base hit. For Celeste Hilton, the number 9 hitter and right fielder, who kind of squibbed one right down past the first base bag, but Avery Bachman couldn't quite get the handle on it. It was a tough play anyway. They're going to rule that a infield single to lead off the top of the third. And the first pitch is lined to the center field and escapes Kremer. So that one is down and on consecutive pitches, consecutive hits, and these tying runs are on base here in the top of the third inning. That one laced in the center field by Juliana Capasso, her second hit of the game. Kremer's charged it, tried the shoestring catch, and was luckily for her able to keep it in front of her. So before we can even catch up with our camera work, Holy Child has 2 on here in the top of the third inning, and that brings up Millie Cavicchio, the catcher and number 2 hitter, conveniently number 2 and scorecards, and she squares the bunt, crouched low but can't get it down, and it's 0-1. A lot of times what pitchers will do is throw it high. It's hard to bunt a high pitch, and can result in what happened to Liz Kremer last inning, a harmless pop out to an infielder. Squares around a bunt again, and she does just that. She pops it up, but foul, and it's 0-2. So likely will take the bunt off here for Holy Child, looking to advance the tying run at the scoring position with 2 runners on, first and second here. Celeste Hilton leads from second, and Juliana Capasso from first, and Millie Cavicchio is now in a 2-strike hole. Russell looks into the signs to Russell, and here's the pitch, swing, and a foul ball down over the St. Luke's dugout down the right field side, and remains a 2-strike count. 0-2. Molly Leitner, the pitcher, waiting on deck. She's the number 3 hitter. Marissa Russell trying to deal with this situation she has on her hands here. The 0-2, swinging its slashed foul back to the screens, remains 0-2. So 2 runners on, none out here in the top of the 3rd inning, with Holy Child looking to make up a 2-run deficit. St. Luke's leading 2-0 here in this FAA title game. Winner walks home with all the marbles. St. Luke's lost last year to Greenwich Academy. Here's the 0-2 on the outside corner, strike 3 called, and Caviccio didn't like it. She kind of flinched at that pitch, but walked away quickly. And a big strikeout from Marissa Rush. They record the first out of the inning. Catches Millie Caviccio looking, and that looms large, especially with the power hitter Molly Leitner striding to the plate. Russell ready and delivers, swing and a miss. Good pitch on the outside corner, and now 0-1. Hilton leads from second, Capasso from first. The 0-1 on the way from Russell. Taken down low, 1-1. Outfielders backing up and respecting the power of Molly Leitner. Infielders playing just about double play depth. 1 out here and runners on first and second. The pitch, swing and a miss. Ball on the outside corner, almost an identical pitch to that first one in the at-bat, but it's now 1-2. So Leitner struck out looking in her first at-bat, takes it for strike 3. Swung over that one, so Marissa Russell gets 2 back-to-back strikeouts in a big spot here in the top of the 3rd inning. Now it's 2 outs, and Elizabeth Curcio striding to the plate. Still with 2 runners on now, but some of the damage mitigated here. 2 consecutive strikeouts as Russell pumps in a strike for making an 0-1 count to Curcio, the shortstop. She grounded out to second base, her first time up in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 on its way, taken low, ball 1. St. Luke's lost to Greenwich Academy last year in this title game, but won it the year before in 2013 and in 2014. So for 4 consecutive years, they've made it to this game as Curcio waves over a breaking pitch from Russell, and that's probably the best one she's thrown all day. It's 1-2. So Russell on the precipice of getting out of this jam. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. She struck her out, and the inning is over. 3 strikeouts in the inning from Marissa Russell, and she gets high fives from her teammates back in the dugout. So after back-to-back hits leading off the inning for Holy Child, Russell buckles down, strikes out Caviccio looking, and gets Leitner and Curcio in the heart of the lineup to strike out swinging. In the middle of 3, St. Luke's leads 2-0 over Holy Child. 2 hits in that inning, 2 left, and 3 strikeouts. So Marissa Russell, who didn't face much adversity at all in that King game, in fact, didn't allow a hit officially, earns her stripes there, striking out 3 in a big spot in the top of the 3rd inning. We were just talking about how St. Luke's is making its 4th consecutive appearance in this FAA game, FAA title game, that is. And if we kind of turn back the clock to that 2013 team, some of the players who are still here, well, Allie Traeger's on that team, and she was a 9th grader then. She's a junior now. Liz Kremer, a senior, now was on that team, as was Avery Bachman, still on the team. Monica Gabriel was there as well, as was Marissa Russell. Some seniors who are still at the school but no longer playing on the team were also there, but it was a team that defeated Greenwich Academy 7-5 in that May 22nd game in 2013 to win its 2nd consecutive championship. St. Luke's looking to get back to that today, as the first pitch of the bottom of the 3rd inning is waved at, missed. It's 0-1 to Maya Klein, who turns things over back to the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Leitner delivers the 0-1. Breaking ball pounded to third, but scooped up there. Long throw to first, and Klein is retired. So a very nice play from Capasso over at third, and she's made a couple of those today. retires Maya Klein for the first out of the inning. And what a difference from one day to the next. Klein couldn't be retired, and now she's failed to reach base in 2 straight at-bats. That should tell you something about the freshman season right there, that it's a surprise when she doesn't get on in 2 consecutive at-bats. The first pitch to Allie Ferris is taken on the inside corner for strike. She walked and scored in that first inning. Came around on a Noelle Russell triple that eluded the glove of the left fielder Hurley. The pitch on the outside corner, taken for a strike, 0-2. So the 4 seniors who are on this St. Luke's team were all members of that 2013 FAA Champion team. They were all here last year as well when they fell to Greenwich Academy. Taken high, ball 1, an off-speed pitch floated up there. To Allie Ferris, the shortstop, and junior. So many veterans on this team. They could not hold off GA last year. The 1-2 is waved at and missed. Strike 3. And a good pitch there from Leitner. And that is quickly the second out of this bottom of the 3rd inning. But that's Noelle Russell. Those cheers are for her. She's striding to the plate. And she has the big blow in this game so far. She tripled and scored in the first inning. She also notched an RBI on that one, driving in Allie Ferris. Here's the pitch that's slammed on the ground to third, past third, for a base hit into left field. So Noelle Russell is 2 for 2 on the day. And she's hit both balls exceptionally hard. And that brings up her sister, the cleanup hitter. That's Marissa Russell. And she wound up notching a 5-3 RBI ground out to third base earlier. That's how Noelle scored. So that completes that thought. So 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. St. Luke's leading 2-0. 1 runner. That's Noelle, leaves from third. She's stealing second, and she makes it. The throw from Caviccio was a little bit high and up the first base line just a tad, and up the second base side of the bag, rather. And in there with the stolen base on the first pitch of the at-bat is Noelle Russell. So she singles and steals a base, and like that is in scoring position for her sister to try to drive her in. And it's 1-0 to Marissa. Right-handed hitter, powerful swing at the plate, and it's taken outside, 2-0. We've seen teams pitch around Marissa Russell. She actually earned a bases-loaded walk this year, which is rare enough. Almost the ultimate sign of respect. Here's the pitch. And it's taken low, ball 4, and she takes her base. And a little bit of hesitation there on everyone, kind of a collective deep breath, because no one was really sure what happened there, and I wasn't really sure either. I thought it may have been 3 balls, and it certainly was. Russell heads back to the plate and probably red-faced, because that was only ball 3. By my count, that was right. Well, she slashes the 3-1 count. The 3-1 pitch foul anyway, so now it's 3-2. So we've all been there. We've all run down to first base with 3 balls on us instead of 4. Well, in some respects anyway, and maybe not actually on the softball field, but we've all had days like that, right? The 3-2 coming up, it's ripped, but foul. And we'll do it again. Noelle Russell leading from second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. St. Luke's leads 2-0. Marissa Russell standing in there for the 3-2 pitch. Leitner's pitch. And that's officially ball 4, and she is able to walk down to first base for the first official time, and she gets some cheers from her teammates there. So 2 on now. With 2 out, both Russells on bases, Noelle on second, and Marissa on first. And this is Avery Bachman now at the plate, and she taps one wide of third. Ball 1. Strike 1. Bachman struck out looking to end that first inning, where St. Luke scored its 2 runs of the day so far. And bats have been relatively quiet since then. They did notch a hit until Noelle Russell came up. That ball and on it as a strike. A good pitch there from Leitner. And it's 0-2. All right-handed hitters in this St. Luke's lineup except for Liz Kremer. The 0-2 coming from Leitner. Here's the pitch. And a great breaking ball. Gets Bachman. She waves at it but cannot touch it. It's the third out of the inning and the second strikeout of the inning for Leitner as she strands 2 on the bases. So 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of 3, St. Luke's maintains a 2-0 lead at the end of 3. And they're back out on the field taking warm-ups quickly. And things move along quickly here in these games, especially when the score is 2-0. Holy Child looking to make that 2-0 lead, 2-0 deficit rather, into at least a 2-2 game, if not more. And they have Stephanie Kuropoulos coming up, and she'll be followed by Caroline Bryceland and Maggie Ahern. After striking out 3 in a row to avoid a minor jam in the third inning, Marissa Russell got through the number 3 and 4 hitters, number 2, 3, and 4 hitters, all by way of strikeout. And that'll bring up Stephanie Kuropoulos, the center fielder in this game. You're listening to 91.9 WSLX, live on the internet at WSLX.org, and on all your favorite streaming apps on your smartphones and connected devices, and on your good old terrestrial radio as well, at 91.9 on your dial. Still not bad to listen to it that way if you're within our broadcast radius. If you're on campus here today, you can certainly break out that old transistor radio as Noelle Rushel completes her warm-up toss down to second base. And if you're listening in the stands, well, you can give us a wave out here in center field. It's pretty packed down there. As we'll take a look, a sea of maroon and supporting the St. Luke Storm, who are up 2-0 in this game so far, entering the top of the 4th inning against Holy Child here in this FAA title game. First pitch to Kuropoulos is taken high, ball 1. Kuropoulos grounded out to second her first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. Holy Child had runners on base in every inning except for the first, but hasn't gotten anybody home yet. Only one runner has reached as far as 3rd, and that was Caroline Bryceland, and she's waiting on deck. The 0-1 on the way is taken on the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. The pitch laced right into the glove of Avery Bachman at first, and a hard hit first out of the inning, and Bachman was right there to glove it. She gets the cheers of an appreciative crowd and an appreciative pitcher. The first out of the inning is a line drive right to first. And that brings up the aforementioned Caroline Bryceland, the first baseman in this game. She's hasn't registered an official at bat yet, reached on a fielding error in right field. Turned it into a 2-base error, and she wound up moving up in a ground out, but could not be advanced from third base. The pitch in there for a called strike, 2. So 0-2 now to Bryceland. The 0-2 swung on and tapped foul and barehanded right there by Noelle Rushel. O2 on its way. On the outside corner, taken low. Ball 1, 1-2 now to Bryceland. Wearing number 14 and Holy Child wearing white. St. Luke's wearing maroon trimmed in white and black. Here's the 1-2. Slashed foul and right behind the St. Luke's fans over on the right field side. And it remains 1-2 here in the top of the 4th inning with St. Luke's up 2-0 in this game. Marissa Russell looking for the put-away pitch here with 1 and 2 to Bryceland, 1 out. Stares in for a long time at her sister Noelle. Here's the pitch, and she floats a breaking ball high and outside. That makes it 2 and 2. You're listening to 91.9 WSLX and streaming live on the internet on the Storm Zone. We thank everyone for joining us here today. Here's the 2-2. It's slammed into right center field. That's a base hit. Kremer moves over and cuts it off and holds Bryceland to a single, an opposite field single. And a good job by Liz Kremer in center field to cut that off and prevent it from rolling a long way. But nonetheless, Bryceland is on with Holy Child's 4th hit of the game. And that brings up Maggie Ahern, the designated player for the game. She's not in the field. She is just that bad, and she swings and lashes one down the first, taken to the bag herself by Avery Bachman, and staying at second base, moving up to second base rather, is Caroline Bryceland. So now with 2 outs and a runner on second, and Ahern grounding out to third. So 3 unassisted in your scorecard if you're keeping track at home is Lily Hurley, the left fielder, and she is the lone lefty in this lineup. So Maya Klein, the third baseman, creeping in a little bit. Hurley takes the first pitch high and outside, ball 1. Klein creeping in and respecting the bunt. But with 2 out, it's a little bit less likely here. So it's 0-1 now to Hurley. Here's the pitch. Swinging its hit down the left field side rather. And out of play. 1 and 2. Russell winds and fires, and that's slammed on the ground to short. Ferris up with it, and she completes the put out the first. Side retired. So Marissa Russell strands a runner on second base, and in the middle of 4, the score remains 2-0 St. Luke's here in this FAA title game. Nice play deep in the hole at short from Allie Ferris. She flashed over, scooped it up, and fired a strike right on over to Avery Bachman at first to retire the side and retire Lily Hurley from the left side of the plate. 1 hit, 1 left. Caroline Bryceland moving again up into scoring position for the second time in the game, but couldn't be moved all the way around, and indeed no one for Holy Child has been able to touch home plate yet. It's 2-0 St. Luke's. You're listening to 91.9 WSLX and live on the internet, on the Storm Zone, on our live stream. We thank all our viewers for joining us today. And if you're watching inside, hopefully it's a little bit warmer than it is out here. A little bit chillier than we may have expected, and certainly a lot chillier than it was the other day on Monday when it was positively a scorcher here at the upper field at St. Luke's School. St. Luke's walked away with a 13-0 win that day. That was enough to get them here in this FAA title game against Holy Child. Holy Child defeated Rye Country Day, who was the favorite in that game. They defeated them 5-1 in Rye. So 2 Rye teams faced off. Of course, one emerged, and is Holy Child, and they're here today battling it out against St. Luke's, who looks for their 3rd FAA title in 4 years. The first pitch of the bottom of the 4th inning sails way outside, ball 1. And Monica Gabriel is up again, and she's overboard with a strikeout. She struck out to lead off the 2nd inning, looking to change that result here in the bottom of the 4th. She squares around a bunt, but takes it inside, and it's quickly 2-0. Beyond Molly Leitner, there really isn't an option that the Holy Child Griffins are going to look for. Is the 2-0 is taken high, 3-0, and kind of bounces off the catcher's mitt there, 3-0 now. So working at the jitters here and trying not to put the leadoff hitter on for free. Bottom of the 4th, St. Luke's leads 2-0. The 3-0 is taken low, ball 4, and Gabriel's able to trot down to first base with a leadoff walk, and that brings up Allie Traeger, the second baseman. She walked there last time at bat, but couldn't advance after Courtney Newman struck out and Liz Kremer lined out. Well, kind of bunted out, rather. But nonetheless, this is a new inning and a new chance for St. Luke's to expand on that 2-0 lead. Traeger chokes up in the bat, squares around the bunt, and goes around on an 0-1. St. Luke's looking to play some small ball here, getting that runner on first in the form of Monica Gabriel into scoring position with none out. Here's the pitch, square to the bunt again, and it's popped up again on the infield, and that'll be an easy double play, except Gabriel doesn't realize that she's headed to third, and they'll complete the double play over at first base. Gabriel kept on running. She didn't realize that ball had been caught, and a double play. So she actually had a chance, as minuscule as it may have been after that bunt was popped up, to return to first base, but she had her head down all the way and was running straight on through to third base. The ball got away as they tried to double up the runner at first, but she was well around second at that time and had a chance to retrieve the ball and complete the double play in order. It's kind of a little bunt to the right side anyway. St. Luke's hasn't been able to execute the bunts very well, but the number 9 hitter kind of gets an infield squibber there, and she'll beat it out. That's Courtney Newman, the number 8 hitter, reaching for St. Luke's with an infield hit. Hit it just over the pitcher's mound, but really kind of an artful shot there, kind of a pool cue right there. Beyond the pitcher, but before the shortstop, and the quick Newman was able to beat it out and reach on an infield single. 2 out now, infield single here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Liz Kremer squares around the bunt. Now bunts it foul. She was also unable to get a bunt down in the 2nd inning. So you wonder, with an 0-1 count, the bunt is still on. She pops it right up, and it's caught again by the charging third baseman Capasso. And for the second inning, both in the 4th and in the 2nd, the inning ends with Liz Kremer popping up a bunt. So 2 botched bunts in the inning after a leadoff walk, with 1 hit in the inning and 1 left. St. Luke's leads 2-0 at the end of 4 over Holy Child. As we move into the latter innings of this game, Marissa Russell returns to the mound and paws at it a little bit, having held Holy Child to only 4 hits in this game so far. St. Luke's, on the other hand, collected a hit in the 1st, none in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and 1 in the 4th. So they have 3 hits off of Molly Leitner, who has settled down in a big way after a walk and a triple and a ground out, plated 2 runs for St. Luke's in the bottom of the 1st, and it's been all pitching on both sides ever since. In a game like this, it's imperative to execute, and both teams have little room for error, and evenly matched squads here, and played a 6-5 game and went in favor of St. Luke's, and was positively high scoring compared to this one so far, with the St. Luke's taking a 2-0 lead into the top of the 1st inning. Noelle Russell completes her warm-up toss down the second base from behind the dish. And to lead off the 5th inning will be Celeste Hilton, who singled in her last time at bat. She's the number 9 hitter and right fielder, right-handed batter, standing in against Russell. Squares around the bunt and gets it down, but foul. Marissa Russell runs over to try to field it, but nothing doing, as it had already rolled foul, and Hilton was already well down the line. So 0-1 now to the number 9 hitter, who leads off this top of the 5th inning. Russell gets the sign, winds and fires, no bunt there, and it's taken inside. Ball 1-1. So for the sabermetrically inclined, at least in baseball, the bunt isn't always considered the best play, but a scoring game is maybe worth a try, as Hilton slashes one foul. Avery Bachman over for a look, but she runs out of room. And it's 1-2 now to Celeste Hilton, the right fielder. She singled and moved up to second base on Juliana Capastos, hit, but was stranded there. On the outside corner, taken for strike 3 as Marissa Russell notches the first out of this top of the 5th inning, catching Celeste Hilton on a good pitch on the outside half of the plate. And there's one out here in the top of the 5th. And that brings up the leadoff hitter, Juliana Capasso, and she's 2 for 2, a single twice, once in the first, once in the third. And Russell falls behind 1-0. Ball tailing away from the right-handed hitting Capasso. All righties in this lineup except for Lily Hurley. All righties in the St. Luke's lineup. And that's the line to first base. Can't be held there by Avery Bachman, who kind of got handcuffed by that soft line drive. Looked like she may have had a beat on it, but it went right off her glove, and Juliana Capasso is on. Will be scored an error on the first baseman and senior Avery Bachman. So, with one out, Millie Cavicchio, the catcher rather, is up. The runner on first here in the top of the 5th inning. Holy Child trailing 2-0 here in this FAA title game. The first pitch is taken high and outside, 1-0. Cavicchio wearing a pullover and wielding a two-toned orange bat. Crouch stance, the 1-0, taken high again, 2-0. So Russell behind on a batter uncharacteristically here. It's 2-0 with the heart of the lineup and Molly Leitner waiting on deck, and Elizabeth Curcio after her. Cavicchio was struck out looking last time up, and she takes the 2-0 low, and it's 3-0. So with the runner on first, Marissa Russell looking to avoid putting a runner on second for free here with a walk that would push up Hilton. That would push up Capasso, and she gets on the right track and fires in a 3-0 strike. I get 3-1 now to Millie Cavicchio, who struck out looking in the third and flied out to right field her first time up. Pounded on the ground to third. Klein up with it to second. Traeger has no play at first, but she thought she might have, and nonetheless, it was a very nice play over there. Quick hands from Maya Klein, and a 5-4 fielder's choice gets Millie Cavicchio on first, but it also erases Juliana Capasso, and more importantly for St. Luke's, not just the second out of the inning with Molly Leitner coming up. It keeps that runner out of scoring position, and it keeps that runner from reaching base as the tying run. But Leitner is the tying run on base, at the plate rather, in this 2-0 St. Luke's lead as she swings and misses at a good pitch on the outside corner from Russell. It's been her bread and butter today, going to that dealing that cutting fastball on the outside corner, and she goes there again. Strike 3. Leitner swung over that pitch, and for the second consecutive inning, second inning in the last 3, Molly Leitner strikes out, and she has struck out 3 times today. So Marissa Russell has kept her counterpart on the mound at bay, striking her out 3 times. The number 3 hitter in the lineup, and that ends the inning at the end of 5. 1 left, no hits in the inning, 1 error. And in the middle of 5, St. Luke's keeps a firm hold on its 2-0 lead in this FAA title game. So as things go down to the wire, and Holy Child now only has 6 offensive outs to play with, things are starting to get a little bit tense. You're listening to 91.9 WSLX and online at WSLX.org. Check out our new streaming service. It tells you exactly what you're listening to, so you don't even need to ask your friends what's playing on our commercial-free student-run radio station here at the Hilltop at St. Luke's School. And thank you for all our viewers who are tuning in via the Storm Zone today and putting audio to video, that newfangled invention we call live streaming. It's pretty cool. Molly Leitner taking her warm-up pitches after striking out to end that top of the fifth. She's back on the mound to start the bottom of the fifth. And she'll face the leadoff hitter again, Maya Klein. Now, Maya Klein has an interesting distinction here. She is the first hitter in the St. Luke's lineup, and she has led off 3 innings. She led off the first, led off the third, and now leads off the fifth. So, somewhat symmetrically, St. Luke's has brought 5 batters to the plate, then 4, then 5, then 4. In each of their 4 innings, and they hold a 2-0 lead. That ball runs outside, ball 1. To the leadoff hitter, Maya Klein, who made a dazzling play at third last half inning. Cut down a potential rally. Ball's taken low, and that's 2-0 now to third baseman and freshman Maya Klein. Wearing a trademark white helmet with white cage and a pretty neutral stance. Swings and pounds one in center field, but backing up on it is Kuropoulos, and she squeezes it for the first out of the inning. So Klein gave it a ride, but it was right at the center fielder, Stephanie Kuropoulos, and that is the first out of the inning for Holy Child, and Maya Klein is now 0 for 3. This brings up Allie Ferris. She struck out in the third, but walked and scored in the first. Here's the right-hander, and she slams one on the ground to third, up with it there, and throw to first in time, retires the number 2 hitter for St. Luke's. That's Allie Ferris. Capasso, and very sure-handed third baseman over there, up with it in no time, got rid of it and fired it on over to Caroline Bryceland at first, and that will bring up Noelle Russell, and she's 2 for 2, but more importantly for Holy Child, she comes up with no one on. First pitch, breaking ball pounded on the ground to short, and that retires the side. Curcio up with it, overhand toss to first, and St. Luke's goes 1-2-3 for the first time today. So at the end of 5, no hits, no runs, no one left. And at the end of 5, headed into the 6th inning in this increasingly dicey FAA title game, St. Luke's leads 2-0. As a quick inning sends Marissa Russell right back out to the mound, and the St. Luke's defense to stay warm as Liz Kremer gives some high fives to her infielders. She's just slapped palms with Courtney Newman, the left fielder, and no matter what, they're having fun out there. Liz Kramer, the senior, and chatting with her left fielder, Courtney Newman. And then out in the outfield, around and right, is Monica Gabriel. She's taking some warm-up throws. At first is Avery Bachman, and for those of us joining us, we'll kind of do this lineup thing again. Avery Bachman, the senior, is at first. Allie Traeger is at second. Allie Ferris is at short. At third is Maya Klein. On the mound is Marissa Russell, who hasn't allowed a run in her 5 innings of work. And behind the plate is her sister Noelle, who is taking her warm-up throws right now. And we're about almost ready to get underway here in the top of the 6th inning. So time is running short for the Holy Child Griffins, but they will send up their 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this inning, with Elizabeth Curcio made a nice play at short to end the 5th inning to lead off this top of the 6th. Russell completes her last warm-up toss, and the other younger Russell completes hers down to second base, and we're ready to go here on 91.9 WSLX and online on the Storm Zone. Entering the top of the 6th inning, St. Luke's leads 2-0 here at the upper field. And this increasingly chilly FAA title game. St. Luke's 6 defensive outs away from securing its 3rd title in the last 4 years. The first pitch is pounded up the middle. Traeger can't get a glove on it, and it skips on into center field for a leadoff hit in favor of Elizabeth Curcio and Holy Child. So for the 3rd time of the game, Holy Child has leadoff hit in the inning, but they haven't scored a run yet. It's 2-0, and A wave and a miss from Stephanie Kuropoulos, who made a nice catch last inning in center field, and that makes it 0-1. Kuropoulos, the number 5 hitter, she's 0 for 2, lined out, grabbed it out. Curcio leading off at first. Pitch, it's sliced foul down the right field line, and not foul by a whole lot. It was kind of in that no man's land there. Bachman, the first baseman, went out, as did Traeger, as came in Monica Gabriel, but it's just a strike. And it's 0-2 now to Kuropoulos. Russell looks in for the signs. Here's the pitch on the outside corner, checks her swing, and it's 1-2. Kuropoulos now saddled with a 1-1 count against Marissa Russell. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball. The second could be 2. Traeger up with it to Ferris, back to first, and not in time. So Stephanie Kuropoulos hustling down to first, avoids grounding into a double play, and hard to turn one in softball anyway, but that one was pretty tailor-made. It went right to Traeger, flipped to Ferris over to first, but it'll go into your scorecard as a 4-6 fielder's choice to erase Elizabeth Curcio, but get Stephanie Kuropoulos to first with 1 out, and that'll bring up Caroline Bryceland, who singled her last time up. She's 1 for 2. She takes to the first pitch high and outside, 1-0. Top of the 6th inning, Holy Child trailing here 2-0 the home team St. Luke's, and the 1-0 is dropped in there for a strike, 1-1. Outfield playing straight up against the number 6 hitter, Caroline Bryceland. She's the first baseman. The pitch, taken low, 2-1. Kuropoulos leads from first, and she reached on a fielder's choice. After that, erased Elizabeth Curcio, who singled to lead off this inning. Russell looks in, winds and fires, and that's hit foul down the right field side. A lot of balls gone foul there, so someone's going to kind of have to be a gopher out there and get all of them. And I think I see someone from the St. Luke's bench kind of replenish their supply of softballs. The 1-2, it bounced right in front of the plate. Noelle Russell up with it. She fires to first, but not in time. It skips away, but backed up there by Monica Gabriel. She runs the ball into the infield and keeps the runners where they are at first and second. So a swinging bunt results in a base hit for Caroline Bryceland, her second hit of the game, and for the second time in this game, Holy Child has runners on first and second with only 1 out. So Marissa Russell in a bit of a jam here, with the designated hitter Maggie Ahern stepping to the plate. First pitch taken for a strike. Fastball sizzling in there to make it 0-1. Kuropoulos leading from second, Bryceland from first. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. 0-1 to Maggie Ahern. Here's the pitch. On the inside corner, strike 2. So Russell blowing some smoke by Ahern right now. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. She struck her out, kind of a half swing, tied her up inside for the second out of the inning, and a clutch strikeout. And that's been the norm today for St. Luke's and their ace pitcher, who is heading off to Dickinson College next year to play softball and, well, more importantly, get an education. Great college out there in Pennsylvania. Here's the pitch to the left-handed hitting Lily Hurley, the number 8th place hitter. She's 0 for 2 today, and it's low and outside. So strikeout of Ahern counts for the second out of the inning, but Holy Child still has 2 on, 2 out. Runners lead from first and second, and that ball's taken low, 1-2. 1-1, excuse me. Lily Hurley kind of flips that bat right before she steps in, lefty hitter. And the outfield playing a little bit deeper and infield shaded toward third. She fouls one right back to the screen, 1-2. St. Luke's leading 2-0 here in this FAA Championship game. St. Luke's finished with a tied record for the best league record in the regular season and looking to ice it here. Taken outside, and that's 2-2. Noelle Russell with a pump fake down to first base, and, well, Bryceland danced off the bag and got back. Russell's keeping them close with those fakes. Here's the 2-2 on the outside corner. And it's ball. My mistake, that was the 3-2, so it's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. So Lily Hurley walks, and that brings up Celeste Hilton, who struck out looking back in the fourth, but singled in the third. And St. Luke's in their biggest jam of the day here with the number 9 hitter striding to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 out. The first pitch. Swinging is tapped on the ground to third, but foul, 0-1. You're listening to 91.9 WSLX and watching live on the internet. Thanks for joining us. So St. Luke's in a big jam here, but with 2 outs, Marissa Russell up 0-1 to Celeste Hilton. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground to the second base. Allie Traeger up with it. She flips to first for the third out of the inning and gets some big cheers from her teammates as Russell and the Storm escape the jam in the top of the 6th inning, leaving the bases loaded are the Holy Child Griffins, and another opportunity wasted there. And some clutch pitching surrounds 2 hits and a walk in the inning. Bases left loaded. No runners crossed the plate, and no runners have crossed the plate indeed at all today for Holy Child. St. Luke's takes a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. So things coming down to the wire here in this FAA title game, and that was the biggest sequence of the game so far. Marissa Russell dancing in and out of trouble there, but able to escape it with the ground out to second base off the bat of Celeste Hilton. However, in the top of the 7th inning, coming up after this, Juliana Capasso, Millie Cavicchio, and Molly Leitner, 1, 2, 3 in the Griffins order. And that will be looking for some runs. And right now, Molly Leitner's job, and she's pitched quite well today, is to keep that 2-run deficit intact. She's taking her warm-up throws here as St. Luke's will stride to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning. Allie Ferris set to lead off. Ferris, Russell, Noel, and Marissa due up 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup here in the bottom of the 6th inning. St. Luke's looking to tack on a little bit of insurance here. They haven't scored since the first. In fact, this game has taken on a much different complexion after 4 batters into the game. St. Luke's took a 2-0 lead. Looked like may have something like Monday's game as the first pitch to Traeger runs high and outside, ball 1. But the pitcher, Molly Leitner, has really shut things down from there. Ferris takes high, ball 2. Allie Ferris, shortstop, is 0 for 1 today with a walk. Struck out her last time out in the 3rd. Walked and scored in the 1st. Here's the pitch, taken on the outside corner for a strike. 2-1. Leitner deliberate, pounds the ball into the mitt, and slashed into right field, right at the right fielder, but it's dropped. So Allie Ferris is on with and she really laced that ball in the right field, but Celeste Hilton could not squeeze it, so she's on with a leadoff error to the right fielder, Celeste Hilton, and St. Luke's on the right track, trying to add on some insurance runs here. That brings up Noelle Russell, and she fouls one off her foot to make it 0-1. Noelle Russell's had a big day. She has 2 hits in the game, had a single, stole second and a third, tripled for an RBI, and wound up scoring in the 1st. Bottom of the 6th inning here. Here's the pitch. Taken on the outside corner, strike 2, 0-2 now to Noelle Russell, the number 3 hitter. Her sister Marissa waiting on deck. Holds the bat far away from her. Powerful right-handed hitter, only a freshman. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck her out. So, with a very big strikeout, Leitner gets Noelle Russell swinging over a breaking pitch, and that's the first out of the inning. But that will bring up Marissa Russell, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, but has an RBI on that O portion. She grounded out, scoring her sister. And she scores around a bunt, which is surprising enough from your power threat in the lineup. So some changes here. That's Monica Gabriel at the plate, and she swings and misses. Bit of confusion here, and this all has to do with those flex players and designated player rules at the plate. So actually leading from first instead of Allie Ferris, that is Marissa Russell. But now with a strikeout of Monica Gabriel, that brings up Allie Traeger. And that's my mistake. Pardon me. I just kind of messed up there in my scorecard. Marissa Russell led off the inning, lining that one to right. Avery Bachman wound up striking out for the first out, Monica Gabriel for the second. So pardon me on that one. At any rate, in the bottom of the sixth, St. Luke's has a 2-0 lead and runner on first with 2 out as Allie Traeger, the second baseman, is at bat against Leitner. So 2 strikeouts in the inning already for St. Luke's, but a runner on first. That's Marissa Russell. So make that 3. Allie Traeger waves and misses at the 0-2 offering as a hawk flies right over the playing field. And, well, it's certainly, hopefully for St. Luke's, not some sort of sign like the black cat running in front of the Cubs dugout in 1969. But anyway, certainly very cool ornithologically to see that. And Hawks would like this kind of day. It's very windy, as you may hear, wind kicking up. As both teams kind of conference here, St. Luke's looking to get only 3 more outs. 3 outs separate them from an FAA title. Leading 2-0 here. Entering the top of the 7th inning against Holy Child. They cheer and break out and are ready to take some warm-up throws in the infield here. They're pumped up on the infield, slapping high fives. Then right in the middle of that again, it's Liz Kremer. She's going around to everyone, kind of jumping and getting high fives as if they're a hot commodity. She's got to sell them all. She's going through her routine again with Courtney Newman, and center and left fielders are certainly enjoying themselves and certainly not displaying any signs of pressure here as St. Luke's clings to a 2-0 lead with Holy Child coming to bat at the top of the order for the Griffins, coming to bat here in the top of the 7th inning, looking to at least tie this game, if not, and send it into extra innings. Trailing 2-0 here to Marissa Russell and the St. Luke Storm. Russell has had a very good game working out of trouble, big-time trouble with 2 hits and a walk in the 6th, but also struck out 1 and induced 2 groundouts. Russell has 8 strikeouts on the day, struck out 11 her last time out, didn't allow a hit. Motioning to her left fielder, Newman, to come in a little bit. This is the first hitter, Juliana Capasso, number 1 hitter in the lineup. She takes inside, ball 1. Capasso is 2 for 2 today. Reached on an error in the 5th. 2 singles, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 1st. Good leadoff hitter, right-handed batter. She slaps one right in front of the mound, takes some weird bounce there, some serious English on that ball, and that looked like it might go for essentially a swing. It had so much backspin on it, and it curled out of play. and that goes for a strike, 1-1. So Capasso up, Millie Cavicchio to follow, and Molly Leitner. So just who you want up if you're Holy Child. The 1-1 is slashed foul behind the umpire into the screen, 1-2. St. Luke's leading 2-0 here in the top of the 7th inning, looking to nail down what would be a 3rd FAA Championship in 4 years. They've made it to this game 4 years in a row. The 1-2 swung on and pounded on the ground to third. Klein up with it, fires on over to first, and completes the put out. A great play there by Maya Klein, charging that ball very aggressively to get the speedy Capasso, and she hears it from the St. Luke's fans. So with 1 out now, brings up Millie Cavicchio to the plate. She's 0 for 2 today. She reached on a fielder's choice last time in the 5th. Struck out in the 3rd and flied out as she takes a strike. Flied out in the 1st inning. So with 1 out here at the top of the 7th inning, St. Luke's looking to put the finishing touches on the game. It's 2-0 Luke's. Swinging a major league pop-up into center field. Kremer coming in, but it is Traeger who squeezes it for the 2nd out, the second baseman. And St. Luke's is 1 out away. And on the flip side of that, Holy Child is 1 out away from elimination in this FAA title game, but just the hitter you want up. And that is Molly Leitner, the number 3 hitter and pitcher. She takes a strike on the outside corner. So 2 good defensive plays, a sparkler from Maya Klein to lead off the inning here, and 2 outs now. The 0-1 is taken outside, 1-1. Leitner stares down to third for the signs. The signs just to swing away here. They need base runners and base runners fast, trailing 2-0 here in the top of the 7th. The pitch just ducks a little bit outside. It's 2-1. Elizabeth Curcio, the cleanup hitter, waiting on deck. Stephanie Karopoulos, 5th hitter, in the hole. But it all rests on this batter here, and it's now 3-1 and a ball in the dirt. So what Russell and the Storm cannot do is allow a runner to get on here. That would bring the tying run to the plate. The heart of the order coming up really at bat now. The 3-1 pitch, swing is grounded up the middle, past Russell into center field for a base hit, and Holy Child stays alive. So a clutch hit from Molly Leitner brings the tying run to the plate, and that's in the form of Elizabeth Curcio. Leitner had struck out 3 times and avoids the golden sombrero with a line drive that skipped right past Marissa Russell at the plate on the mound, and that brings up Curcio. She's 1 for 3 today. Takes the first pitch high and outside, ball 1. So St. Luke's looking to nail things down here, up 2-0 in the top of the 5th. It's 1-0 now to the 4th place hitter, Curcio. The pitch swung on and grounded up the middle. Traeger up with it. She slides into second base, trying to get the force, but it's ruled safe there. Molly Leitner beat the force play there, so Traeger smothered it. Her only play was to go to second and tried to slide in ahead of Leitner, who was barreling down on her. But the umpire ruled that the base runner got there first, and just like that, Holy Child has 2 runners on and has the tying run on base in the form of Elizabeth Curcio, who will get credit for an infield hit, her 2nd hit of the day. And that brings up Stephanie Karopoulos. She swings and misses at the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Looking to drive in those tying runs on base. Molly Leitner on second, Curcio on first with 2 out. The pitch swung on and looped to second. Ferris in, just collides with Traeger, no play. Bases are loaded. Runner coming home, she's safe. So a really heads-up play right there from Holy Child. And Molly Leitner scoring all the way from second base. Elizabeth Curcio moves to third as some confusion on the infield. The throw came home, but it was too late. And St. Luke's now holds a 2-1 lead here as Holy Child is mounting a 2-out rally here in the top of the 7th inning, down to their last gasp here, and the tying run stands on third in the form of Elizabeth Curcio. Molly Leitner coming all the way around to score on that play. Kuropoulos kind of just hit a little squibber up the middle. Ferris and Traeger kind of collided on it, and they probably would not have had to play it first anyway, but Kuropoulos now leads from first and Curcio from third. Leitner scoring on that play all the way from second. She was really trucking on that one. 2 outs, you're going to just put the Jets on and run until you can't run anymore, especially with the game and season on the line here and FAA title. So in trouble with the second base bag, and the coaches are out there with the umpires trying to get it all secured, and probably came loose when that now very big play with Leitner sliding into second base ahead of the attempt from Traeger to force her out at second, which would have been the last out of the game. It was a bang-bang play at second base. And for St. Luke's, this kind of either A, settles things down for Marissa Russell or lets her stew on it. Either way, she's not throwing any pitches, and it's a little bit cold out there, but she is chatting with her sister, Noelle. At the plate now is Caroline Bryceland, and she's had a good day. She reached on an error in the first, singled Thank you for joining us here on 91.9 WSLX. St. Luke's winning 2-1. The FAA Championship is theirs, and it's time to celebrate.